I'm just too lazy. Just don't be lazy. Okay, that sounds so... I cannot do videos like this. Like, it actually stresses me out. Hey guys, this is my first YouTube video, and I'm gonna be talking about, tips, or like what I do as a writer, as a teen writer. I mean, I don't do all of these, but like, they're in my mind, because like, but I'm gonna be doing my skincare while I'm doing this, so just hold up. My first tip is to write every day consistently, like, even if it's just like a little bit, like, it's just good for you. So look, I just restocked on the AHA/BHA clarifying treatment toner from Cosrx. Okay, enough with that. Okay, so let's say you did a lot of things on one day, and you're like, oh my god, it's 11 p.m. Like, oh my god, I have to go to sleep. Just write for like a minute. Like, at least just get something down, okay? Get something down on the document. Because then the next day you're going to be like, well, I really want to finish what I wrote yesterday, so I'm going to write. And then you're going to write more the next day. So that's why I suggest writing every day, even if it's just a little bit. My second piece of advice, or something that I do, is read. And I know how it sounds really stupid, because it's like, well, that's obvious, you read, you know? But, okay, why is this not coming out? Hold up. Let me tell y'all, reading is good. I mean, obviously. If you're struggling with, writer's block, you can't, like, write, and you're like, oh my god, I can't write, I really want to finish my book. So first of all, what's your genre of your book? You need to know that, obviously. And, find a book. Like, go to your local library or a bookstore and go borrow or buy a book that's the same genre as your work in progress. And then read that book. And then I guarantee you, at least if the book is interesting and you get like, you'll get at least like some inspiration and motivation. And this is, in my experience, I experienced writer's block. And, I wrote, after I read this really good book, let me get it real quick. This is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. I'm writing fantasy. I was writing a fantasy book at the time, and I read that, and I was like, oh my god, that's like a really good fantasy book. And I just got like a lot of motivation. I was like, well, I really want to be a good author and everything. And like, that book is like, it's like fantasy elements are like really good. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna write it. My third piece of advice is to That's a good question. What is my third piece of advice? My third piece of advice is, if you struggle writing and everything, and you're like, wow, I'm just too lazy, just don't be lazy. Okay, that sounds so stupid, but discipline yourself. Like, tell yourself, like, this is what, like, just discipline yourself, you know? Like, I mean, obviously, if you're, like, struggling with writer's block, like, you just need to write. And if you're at the point in your work in progress where you're like at a really, really complicated scene and you're like, I don't really want to write this right now, like, I want to get to the exciting stuff, and if this is your first draft, I did this, and in my experience, it was kind of better for me, but I put add scene here, and then I put a comment and said add scene, and that's going to be like, oh, that's future me's problem, and keep in mind, this is going to piss you off a lot when you're going through your second draft. When you're doing your second draft, it's gonna piss you off, because then you're gonna have to fill in all the ad scenes. But if you're doing your first draft, you don't have to do it. You just skip it. So that's what I did. My fourth piece of advice is to focus on one thing. This is like actually another video for another day, because I actually have a lot to say about this topic. Actually, maybe not a lot, but for me, I'm going to tell y'all right now, if you have like 10 work in progresses and you're like complaining that you're not getting like anything done, what? This is no hate, okay? No shade to any writer who has a lot of work in progress, because like I used to have a lot of work in progresses. This is like no shade at all, but if you have a lot of work in progresses and you're complaining that you're not getting anything done, you're not writing anything, why do you think that you're not getting anything done? It's because you have too many work in progresses and you have too many ideas. So here's my advice. If you have a lot of work in progresses, get a notebook, write all the ideas of books that you want to write, and then just leave it there. Like, you can do that in the future, not right now. And if you're struggling on which one you want to, like, do, just, like, pick one of your work in progresses and be like, okay, this is the one I really want to do. This is the one I really want to work on and work passionately on. And then work on it. And I feel like if you focus and give your all to one thing, I promise you, finishing the first draft will be automatically faster than just being so, like, working on many work in progresses all at once. Like that's me personally. This is just what I think that I've heard and I've experienced in, like, my time as a writer, as a teen writer. I have more to say on the topic of having too many work in progresses, but that little I have to talk about is enough. Don't take my advice if you don't want to. I'm not telling y'all to all do all that, but I'm just saying this is some things that have helped me. And, yeah, have fun writing and do what you gotta do, read. Also, subscribe because this is my first video. And if you want more tips, if you want more, tips or tricks, okay, real stop. Yeah, like and subscribe, get me famous, love y'all, bye. Bye.